Is there ever a context where you want to exclude people who are not black?
Yes, I think there's a time and place for everything. I don't believe in segregation, but I do believe in separation.
What? We're in a very weird place in America where essentially two different sides have different definitions for the same word. My friend Maj Touré, who recently came on the podcast, calls it a 6-9 argument, where basically if you're standing on either side of a number 9 or 6 facing someone, to them it looks like a 9, to you it looks like a 6, but you're talking about the same thing and essentially you're both right. That's where the right and the left break down in a lot of their arguments. In this clip of Peter Boghossian on the campus of UCLA talking about racism is a perfect example of that. Let's get into this thing, but first, I'm begging you, I'm asking you, I'm pleading. Please subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. All right, let's check it out.
It's okay for anyone from any race to not want to hang out with people from any race at any moment.
Strongly disagree.
Why do you
Peter?
strongly disagree?
I disagree because I don't think people should be judged on the basis of their race. And I think that if you judge someone on the basis of their race as who you'd hang out with, that's a form of racism and discrimination.
Do you understand his reasoning?
You can't ignore race, it's everywhere, so you can ignore it all you want.
I don't
but
think-
that's reality.
I don't think taking a neutral stand will say that we promote like people not hanging out with each other.
What?
Neutral state would be like, it's not my say for you, for instance, if you don't want to hang out with that particular person, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's because of the race card. I don't know. You don't want to hang out with them, it's probably because you guys have a different view on some stuff or you disagree on some stuff.
Yeah, but the question was specifically whether it's okay to not hang out with people based on their race. So he's evading the question. The question was specifically, is it about race? And he's basically saying, well, if you don't want to hang out with someone, who am I to say it is or isn't about race? Well, it's specified in the question.
What if I say I don't want to hang out with that guy because I don't want to hang out with him because he's black?
Becomes a racial. Yeah, that becomes a racial endeavor, and it's definitely.
So is that
Okay.
is that okay?
No, in that sense, it wouldn't be okay.
Exactly.
What context is it okay for people to not hang out with each other because of a racial component?
Well, if it's a racial component,
He's reading the question now and realizing.
any race. If there's a racial component, there's no really, it shouldn't be okay. Just because you're white, I don't want to hang out with you. That shouldn't be okay.
Is there ever a context where you want to exclude people who are not black?
Yes, I think there's a time and place for everything. I don't believe in segregation, but I do believe in separation.
What? I don't believe in segregation, but I do believe in separation. So as long as you call it the right thing, it's okay. Anyway.
Which means at times we should be able to have our own space. Whoever race it is, they can be in their community. Blacks, we can have our community.
So it's okay if I, as a white person, say, hey, us white people, we need our own space. The rest of you stay out of it. That's totally okay now. I seem to remember that being very not okay for much of history, especially during the 50s and 60s, when we fought to make that very not okay by law.
very essential for us to come together and grow from that.
What's the best example of a time when it's completely appropriate to not be together in terms racially?
You got clubs.
Yeah, I'm
Clubs are
actually a
fun.
part of
Clubs.
I'm a president of
Clubs are
UCLA.
okay. You know what is a club? The KKK is a club. I don't think that's okay.
Black Student Athlete Alliance.
Okay.
And
Some UCLA clubs should be segregated by race. Move.
Should be segregated.
I'm staying here.
Wherever you agree, whatever your level of agreement. Just some. All right. What's an example of a kind of club where people should be segregated by race?
like I said, as a president of the Black Student Athlete Alliance, it's good that we congregate as Black people mainly, but then we can collaborate with others. That's why I say agree. There's times and places for everything.
So I just have to say, I don't think there's a time and place where it's ever okay to segregate based on race. It's very odd to see this kind of come full circle to where now in 2024, we have young people who are at supposedly our best academic institutions in the country basically advocating for racial segregation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a Black Student Alliance, Black Athletes Alliance. Is that okay if that's segregated by race?
No,
Why?
because separating someone on the basis of their race is inherently discriminatory.
Is
And-
it
and
okay if that organization exists at all?
Yes,
But people should be open of any race to join it?
correct.
What do you have to say about what he said, right? Like the collaboration aspects.
I said I'm willing to collaborate.
Say that organization wanted to host a meeting with just Black people. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. Sometimes I think people will say things that they've been indoctrinated with and not even realize at the kind of first principles level what they're saying. So this young man is saying it's totally fine if we want to have a insert race only event. Now, I would guess that his argument is it's okay to do a Black only event because of historic oppression, etc., and the power dynamic between races. But we can't make racism okay in one direction. That's the history of this country, making racism okay in one direction. And we eliminated that. And now, again, here we are with young people at a college saying that, yeah, it's okay. There's a time and place for everything. You want to have a white, well, he didn't say explicitly you want to have a white only meeting. It's okay. I have a feeling that would probably be very not okay with this young man and anyone really in this country, myself included. But I also think that the opposite is not okay. You can't just say, hey, we're having a Black only meeting. We're having a white only meeting. Whatever you want to label it. It is not okay to segregate based on race. Anyway, all right, let's see.
Would that be okay?
Absolutely not.
Okay. What do you think his reason is for saying that?
He doesn't want exclusion. Is it exclusion? Yeah, exclusion.
Is that accurate? You don't want exclusion.
Yeah, but what's the reason I don't want exclusion?
Why do you think he doesn't want exclusion?
Because he thinks it's racist.
He thinks it's racist, but I don't think it's racist. All right, this goes on for quite a while, guys. I definitely think you should check out the original clip. I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to showcase this scenario and get you guys' thoughts on it. Check out Peter Boghossian. Check out his channel. He does these awesome videos where he goes out in the streets and has these conversations. Look, it's a very weird scenario we find ourselves in where we're basically advocating for segregation of races from one perspective, saying that it's okay if it's one race, but it's not okay if it's the other race. This is the exact same type of thinking that got us where we were back in the day and that we have fought to eliminate. So I'd be curious to hear you guys' thoughts. Let me know how you feel about this. If you think it's okay to have Black only spaces, white only spaces, etc., let me know. If you think it's okay to have Black only spaces but not white only spaces, let me know as well. If you think none of this is okay and that any form of segregation based on race is not okay, let me know. That's where I fall. I just think in general, separating people based on race, bad idea, no matter what your intentions are, no matter how you justify it. I think it's a recipe for disaster. Let me know your thoughts.